Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny video. It is Tuesday, and in the Destiny calendar, that means it's reset day, which means I'm going to bring you a video showing you guys the new Heroic Strike, the new Nightfall Strike, giving you some tips on some weapons that may help you out, and also talking about any other noteworthy events. Now, if you saw my video on the Bungie update most recently, you'll also know that they said that on March 3rd, which is today, the new Inferno Crucible mode will be dropping. It's not currently live, and I've rebooted my system quite a few times, so it looks like it's something they're going to drop later during the day. So as soon as it does drop, I will have a video up for you guys to let you know it's live, and I'll also show you what it's all about. But for the time being, for those of you guys that haven't heard about this before, Inferno is a modifier for an existing Crucible mode. So this week, it's Inferno Control. And what this means is that when you're playing this mode, you have no radar, which means it's all about looking for your enemy, plus the scoring is simplified and it's all about kills. There's also much less heavy ammo. In fact, there's only one crate that spawns throughout the entire game, and when you kill people carrying heavy ammo, they don't drop heavy ammo bricks. So you could liken it to hardcore modes. It does sound super exciting, I can't wait to try it out, and as I said, as soon as it does drop, I will let you guys know. But for the time being, let's talk about this week's Nightfall and Heroics. We are heading back to Earth this week to take on FATEBRINGER Prime in the Devil's Lair, and for the Heroic Strike, the modifier is Light Switch, which means that minions of the Darkness deal much more melee damage, so you want to watch out for those Stealth Vandals. And then on the Nightfall side of things, you have Epic, which means heavily shielded and highly aggressive enemies appear in great numbers. Then we finally have a burn this week, which is Arc Burn, which means that arc damage from any source is greatly increased, which should make this a hell of a lot quicker. You then have Light Switch, so again, minions of the Darkness do deal much more melee damage. And you have Angry, where minions of the Darkness won't flinch even after massive damage. So those are your strikes. Now let's talk recommendations for the Nightfall. Well, it's Arc Burn, so you're obviously going to want some arc weapons. So for primary weapons, my favourite is always going to be FATEBRINGER. It's a really good gun, deals arc damage, and especially in that very first section when you're fighting off those 3 waves of enemies, it will make light work of large groups, especially with the added Firefly bonus. That being said, with the new weapon buffs that came with update 1.1.1, Oversoul Edict, which is the pulse rifle from Crota's Raid, deals arc damage, and this makes it an extremely viable weapon. I actually tested this out in a previous strike when there was arc burn before the weapon buff, and it was still really good then, especially with the full auto perk. So now, with the improvement to pulse rifles, the 9.7% increase in damage, you should definitely consider using this. Alternatively, another one from Crota's Raid, you have the Fang of Arekkz, which is the scout rifle, again dealing arc damage. Then moving over to secondary weapons, the Light of the Abyss, which is the fusion rifle from Crota's Raid, is a pretty good option. Again, deals arc damage, so could be really good for large groups of enemies. Or a weapon that everybody should have if you play the Dark Below, which is Murmur, and you have the option to switch between arc damage and solo damage, so switch it to arc for this week, and this could be pretty useful. And then lastly, for heavies, you have a few different options. You have things like Thunderlord, but my personal favourite is the Song of Arekkz, because that way it leaves me free to use an exotic weapon in my secondary slot. So dealing arc damage, this will be great for FATEBRINGER Prime at the end. I've used this before on an arc burn, and this deals massive damage to him, so if you have an opening, you'll have him down in no time. And my very last recommendation, if you know me by now, it wouldn't be a weekly reset without me recommending using this weapon, but the Icebreaker. Yes, I know it's not an arc damage weapon, but the reason I mentioned this one is because during the first section of this strike, don't forget that when the Shanks come out, they have solar shields. So this is a great way to get rid of them, especially considering they deal arc damage while being shielded by solar. So this is going to help you out massively. And with that, my work here is done. That is all you need to know about this week's weekly reset. As I said, don't forget Inferno Crucible mode is supposed to be dropping at some point today, so I will let you guys know as soon as it goes live. But for the time being, that is it. So hopefully you found this helpful, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and as always, if you did, don't forget to leave a like and hit that thumbs up button, and if you're not already part of the Arekkz Gaming Nation, then make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single video. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys are going to be running with this week in this week's Nightfall, and once again, thank you very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.